Welcome back from the snowy Lithuania. This is Domas. Welcome back to the channel. This morning I had a thought pass through my mind about artists and creative people. I've always thought that your mind has to be like really structured, like thoughts come. If you're happy in your head, if you're okay with the way you are, if everything's going smooth for you in life, if there's such a thing, then your thought process is also very structured. It's not linear. It's linear. But I had this thought pass through my mind today. I was like, it's okay to have a discombobulated mind. I saw it as that flower that you blow the petals away. Not the petals, but you know what I mean. The flower that some people eat instead of blowing. Anyway, it's like that. It's like a ball, and it's like a sun. That's it. It's like a sun that has all of these beams shooting out, and they're shooting sporadically. They're not like one after another. Maybe there's a pattern, but the pattern is so wide. When there's a pattern in the song, let's say there's 8 bars or a chorus, and it repeats itself. When it repeats itself, so there's a pattern. So maybe the pattern of your mind is so wide. It's not 8 bars, it's not 16, it's not 32. It's like really, really wide that you can barely see it. Some thoughts repeat themselves, and like Carl Jung said, that evolution happens in a spiral. It's not a linear rise, it's a spiral. You keep coming back to the old things that you sort of went through ages ago, so you keep coming back to the old topics. So it's like with the mind that's scattered, I also just, this peace came over me this morning as I was writing, as I was journaling. And journaling, another thought came through that, it's like a conversation with yourself. You're asking questions to yourself, you're answering the questions, you're kind of expanding this thought process, like this thought field. The field of thought becomes wider and wider. And I started to enjoy spending time alone at home, like sitting on my computer and creating beats, like creating some music. It's not easy. It's so much easier to consume and lay down and watch a film than it is to put some work in, especially at the things that you feel vulnerable in, like writing words, like judgment of yourself, where you're judging yourself so much that you stop yourself from doing creative work, and I think everybody has that. I think people that don't have it, they're not creatives, they're just producing things that were built before, because if you have some sort of like blocking you, then there's probably a big reason why, and that reason might be that you're afraid of exposure, or you're afraid of success. As I was listening to the channel called Val this morning, it's really, really good, inspiring channel for artists. But it doesn't just go for artists. I think it can go for any person. If you have a scattered mind, it's okay. It's okay to also write down your thoughts, write down your process, write down whatever's going on in your head. And maybe it's supposed to be like that. Maybe you're here to bring in a little bit of interesting vibe to these frequencies that are walking around, a bit of a difference, a bit of a crookedness, a bit of a, and I mean crookedness like literally, like you're a bit like crooked. Your hat is a bit crooked, your clothes are a bit crooked, and people look at it, it's like, oh, so that's that strange guy. But it also brings a smile to their face, And I always thought that this strangeness, this artistry could be controlled. Like you can choose to be that person or not to be. And lately I've just been thinking, like, you can't really choose. You either are one or you aren't. And whether you're gonna pursue it professionally or not, that's a different thing. But if you feel the urge to create, and if you feel like you don't feel happiness when you're not creating, or you feel like you feel pain when you're not creating, you feel like you're missing out on things, and nothing that you do, nothing that you consume makes you feel better, then maybe you just need to make work, make art, even if it's for yourself and not showing it to anybody. Like perhaps you might have to keep it just to yourself. Perhaps it's the way it has to be, Just had another thought as I was walking, and it slipped my mind now. But perhaps you need to keep it a secret, And it's gonna be your secret, your little thing. Once you show it to the world, if you show it to the world, it will be a great celebration for yourself, and you might feel a certain way, As I was thinking, that's it, that's the thought I had. Consuming and producing, If you're a consumer, you're always, we're all consumers and producers to a certain extent, but if you're more of a consumer, you're gonna always feel like it's not enough, because it doesn't matter how much you consume, you want more, and with producing, it's like almost the same thing, but the opposite. So you're never gonna produce the best thing, you're just gonna produce something close to it, and it's never gonna be enough. Plus, when you're a producer and not a consumer, or more of a producer than a consumer. Consuming doesn't, I think then all the things that you want and need and feel like you want as a consumer, they come to you naturally, but you don't need them anymore because you found joy in producing. So I think that's an interesting thought. Let me know what you guys think. So I think this is the message that I wanted to deliver today about producing and consuming, because you can produce joy to people, you can make jokes, laugh, be funny, make a fool out of yourself to others, just to be more happy, just to bring more happiness to the world, and you really feel joy. Or you can just kind of latch on to people and look for that happiness, I don't know, I feel like the real joy is by giving, and I want to spread that, I want to be that. I want to inspire myself to be that. I want to bring joy, because it's so serious. Like, the world is so serious. Everything that we do feels so serious. Having children, having a family, having a serious job, where you have to be more and more serious. And the more you get serious, the more you forget how to play. And of course, the balance would be great where you can play and be serious. But for me, I need to get serious in creating, And lately I've been having also some dreams that I've been having. They've been quite interesting. I dreamt that, I don't know if you know the rapper MF Doom. I dreamt that I had to perform one of his songs to the crowd, and I asked him for the mask. He gave me the mask. He's always wearing the mask, and he gave me the mask, and it was so flimsy. I put it on, and it felt like an old hat, like an old baseball cap, on your face. And then instantly he was like, no, I need it back. So I gave it back. He said, I got 3 more at home, I'll give you one. I never performed the song, but it was an interesting scene. And it's not the first time I dream of him, He's in the ether, he's with the all now. So he might be tapping into my consciousness, or he's just like a living being in my consciousness, because I like his music, his creativity so much. Just like, it's not even about the product that the person creates, it's about the person, If I don't like the person, I'm not gonna listen to them. Like, before I knew about R. Kelly, like, I was listening to his stuff. Once I heard what he's doing, that's it. Like, the person deleted from my life. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't know. Some people should be forgiven, but not to that extent. I don't feel like it. Just something clicks in me when it goes. If I pay attention to this shit, even if I'm not supporting it, if I pay attention to it, I'm giving the greatest gift that I have is my attention. It's my time. I'm giving it to something that's horrible about this world, So we choose where to direct our attention. And if you choose to direct it into creativity, that's gonna give some fruits back, Like when we performed on a rooftop of one of the cafes of our friends, it was a fun experience, it was fun. We looked down on everybody, like from high above, and we performed our songs, and we probably had the most fun out of everyone, So creativity is fun. It really puts a smile on your face. Like, every time I'm listening to the songs, I'm cringing in a way, I'm cringing, but what is cringe? It's something that taps into, I think it's something that taps into the child in you. The child that didn't give a fuck about how he's perceived, about how everybody's looking at him. He didn't give a flying fuck who ain't not feeling him, as Victor Vaughn says. And cringe, when cringe happens, when people listen, they see that that person is doing something that if it was a child doing that thing, you would look at it and be like, oh, what a cute child, you know, oh, look at him, he's playing, you know, he's experimenting, it's so fun. But when it's an adult doing that thing, people are like, cringe, you know, he's way like too old to be doing that stuff, you know. And it's like, fuck you, like, who are you to tell me what I'm supposed to do? You know, if you don't like it, fine, hate it, you know, don't pay attention to it, whatever. Like, but I don't know why. That's where my passion lies, in creativity. It's like, I want people to be encouraged and feel enabled to express themselves, you know. Because when you're being silenced, you know, also, it's like somebody doesn't understand the silence, you know. Like the silence, when it happens, when people don't understand that what you're doing, they're trying to silence you. Or, you know, when it's messing up with their establishment or their system, they're like, shh, you don't say that. Like, it's like, I'll take my responsibility for what I'm saying, you know, you take yours, mate. But this is just what my thoughts are today. I think the fresh air really does something. Really, yeah, thank you, Trey, for telling me to go outside. Because, yeah, some new ideas coming through. So keep on being creative. Even if you're creative on a piece of paper, writing something, just playing around, just doing whatever, you know, be creative. Making a fool out of yourself in front of everybody just to make people laugh, you know, laughing at yourself, at your own seriousness. That's creativity, you know. So be gentle on yourself, you know, be a child, because once you're a child, you're present, you know. You're not thinking, you're not intellectualizing everything, you're just pure, you know. And that's what we need to be, pure. So I'm proud of you, proud of the work that you've been doing. We're getting through this. We're getting through this. I think it's lovely to have you, and thank you guys for being with me. Really appreciate you all, and have a great day, morning, evening, nighttime, and I'll catch you in the next one. Lots of love to you, and peace.